Welcome to today's video on beginner guide to Google Ads for Shopify in 2024. Now, before we get into it, I always like to start with a Google Doc. You can go down below and you can get this doc. I'll also put it in the description as well, just a matter of your preference. Okay. Now, a few things we need to do as sort of housekeeping. First thing is you need to have a Shopify store. You can use that link. That is an affiliate link. Entirely up to you. You can just go to shopify.com. The Google Ads account, make a free Google Ads account, go through the setup, okay? You'll have to add your billing, you get it all set up, you set your country, your billing, your address, your name, your business name. For the Google and Shopify, you just use this app here. It's a free app. Only install it after you have your Shopify store set up, otherwise you won't have that running. This will allow you to integrate both platforms to seamlessly push your pixel data or conversion data into Google and allow you to then run campaigns and see what's converting. Okay, next then you'll choose the campaigns. You choose brand search or performance max. I'm going to go into that a bit more in depth. Google is a very complex platform for a lot of people. They've really streamlined it, but it still can be quite confusing. So I'm going to try and keep it simple. Brand search, just to explain, brand search is basically running keywords. Now I just use a keyword wrapper tool, basically is what it's called, and I use exact and phrase match. So if you're running a business, and we're going to again use the sample of what I seem to like, dogs, and just literally for the sake of this, so that we can make a single ad group running those keywords to make sure to protect your brand. And the performance max is more for cold and a combination of remarketing. It really depends. We're going to focus on sort of cold. This is just going to be a simple setup. Okay, you add your headlines, you add your descriptions, you add your URL. It's very, very simple. You also can add videos. If you want to add videos, you will need a YouTube channel, and you can integrate that. If you want a video on that, comment that down below. I can show you that, like, hey, integrate YouTube with Google. Obviously, they're owned by the same company, Alphabet, but they're you just have to integrate it once. And the benefit of doing that, if you build a YouTube channel, you can do a lot of remarketing and so on and so forth there too. Okay, so very important that you keep that in mind. Other than that, I'm just going to go straight into that. As I said, ask questions down below. This can be very daunting to begin with, okay? But I'm going to try and make it as simple as possible and as quick as possible for you. Let's go. In relation to this, I forgot to add that Google Merchant Center. You want to add that in as well, especially if you're running for e-commerce. So really important. Again, on a side note, if you aren't, if you're running it for services, you can ignore that step. But so basically, this is the Google. They call it Google for Retail. I'm used to calling it the Google Merchant Center. That's what I've always known it as. They've done a lot of updates. They still call it sort of that. They're just trying to rebrand a bit. Basically, it allows you to push your catalog. Okay, so this is the app from the App Store. As you can see, it's just a free app that you can install, no cost. Install that on your store. I've got it on our demo store. I've already gone through and I've set this up. You can ignore most of those notifications. We have a number of products on this demo store, just purely for obviously testing. And once you have it set up, you'll see, it automatically categorizes. And you can also set up Google My Business. If you have legit local business, set up Google My Business, gets you additional traffic for free. And again, you can sell your products on YouTube as well. Now, to show you, you can go under settings. You can see I've integrated it with Google account. It will get you to integrate Merchant Center as a recommended thing as part of the initial setup. So make sure you make your Merchant Center. Again, it's free. You can disconnect at any stage. I've got Google Business Profile connected just for the sake of showing this in the video. And we've got a Google Analytics as well, just to purely show that as well. In relation further to this, you can also optimize your product titles and descriptions. I recommend go with SEO and SEO, okay? Because those are the ones where in another video, you can, in your products, okay, to quickly show you, let's go here. You can have your SEO optimized title and description. If you want a video more on that about SEO, I can further do that as well. Otherwise, by default, it'll use this and this, but this is specifically designed for SEO as well as ads. It all integrates and molds into one. It sounds a bit confusing, but it is very important, right? If you want also run SEO, which is a different form of marketing, search engine optimization marketing, then I definitely recommend that. Now that we've done all of that, we've already got our merchant center all integrated. That is all working fine. The parts that we need to do now is go into our Google Ads. You make a Google Ads account. Go ahead and make your Google Ads account, add your name, your business name, your credit card, or your PayPal, and then you're good to go. And I'll see you in the next screen as I show you actually how we set up the campaigns. Okay, now we're in the Google Ads. I've made a test account. That's just sort of how I do it. Now we're gonna make 2 campaigns, right? And you can see that I've made some test campaigns in the past. We're going to start with the sales, okay? And we're going to, because I've integrated the purchase, leave their little onboarding setup. It's not really helpful, honestly. You want to go purchases account default. To change that, you can go under the settings and look at that, but we want to use that. I'm going to remove this other one that is not needed in this case. We go continue, and you can choose the different types, okay? So you can run all these different types specifically if you want. I don't really run display, video, or shopping that much. You mainly run Performance Max, okay? It combines pretty much all of these, and Google really pushes for that. You can still do it segmented if that's what you want, but I find Performance Max works really well now. Google is really, really pushing hard for that. Discover is another one. It's basically sort of like display, but a little bit different, but we won't get too much into that. For the sake of this, we're going to go search. We're going to choose website visits, and we're going to put www. Now for a brand search campaign, which is what we're making here, you want to send them to your homepage, and we give it a campaign name. I like to call it the name of business. Let's just say, as I said, dogs. We're going to call purchase Google brand search. Okay, and we go continue. We want to go conversions. You don't want to set a cost per action at this stage. Just leave that. You can do that later back in the campaign settings. You want to include it in the search partners and display, because this campaign does extremely well. You always want to leave it there. All countries and territories, you can lock that down, of course. I just leave it all countries and territories, especially as you're building your business. The brand search just always does really well. So leave that open is my recommendation. Leave the default as English. Obviously, if you're a different language, that's a different discussion. You change that to the language that's most applicable to you. You can add segments. Okay, we don't need that for this type of one. You want to use broad keywords for an entire campaign. You can also have a look at more settings as well, where you can choose the schedule. I leave as all day, campaign URL, and brands. Again, this is all things for further down the road. You can customize this later down the line, okay? So as I said, to give you an idea for audience segments, you can, this is using, various, basically its own interests of audiences. This is for cold, but we're wanting to do warm marketing, okay? So we want to choose, use keyword match types. Pardon me, I tell a lie, you don't want to use broad match, okay? That would be bad. And you want to put a URL. Again, let it sort of do that, right? I'm just doing this as an example. What makes your product or service unique? Add that in. This will help you generate some AI title descriptions. So we're just going to go next. Now, this is where you add the keywords, okay? So again, leave that. You want to add products or service to advertise, okay? So that's entirely up to you. You don't have to do that. The main thing that you really want to do is the keywords. Now this is where you use the keywords wrapper. So keywords wrapper, keywordwrapper.com, it's just a free tool. I just literally use it, and I'm just going to put in dog. What you do is you wrap the keyword, and you're after the phrase and exact. I mean, it's up to you, but never broad without getting too much into it. There's broad, phrase, and exact are the main 3 ones. If you do broad, anything with the word dog in it, so where is my dog, your ad will show. Whereas phrase is could be a similar thing, where is my dog. Whereas exact would be, it has to be only that word in the search, okay? So otherwise you'll end up ranking for tons of other ones that will just cost you money. especially as a startup business, you definitely don't want that. So we copy those and we paste them into there. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it as dogs.com. Very, very simple. And you want to add a display path. So, for this, you don't have to, but I recommend you do. Best dog collars. Okay, something like that. And you'll see a preview, okay, as we head down this path. Now, mind you, you don't have to add all of this. It's up to you. And you can see, I'm just going to leave for the sake of this, the headlines as it is. We'll change it though from PetSmart to dog, right? Because just sort of that. And you can see how Google does the large majority of the work. Make sure you always review these though, and you can add more ideas. The more headlines and that you have, Google will automatically optimize for what's best for you. Okay, your business name, we're just going to put as dogs. Add your logo. Naturally try and add your logo. I don't know, let's just add that one. Site links and call out extensions. Now you definitely want to try and add those. Those are the main two ones. So site links are different things that you can make that will help make your ad stand out. Okay, so site links are different things to, let's say, like your blog, your contact us, your FAQ, about us, and you can make that very, very easily. Okay, I always recommend making 4. So you basically put a site link text, description, and then URL. Okay, so let's say blog, visit the dogs blog, read all our articles. Okay, so that's all you need to do there, and then you send them to your blog, which in most cases would be something like this. Okay, create, and that's all you need to do. Save. And then call outs is basically benefits of your business, just simple little things that will add benefits to your business. We don't need to add that today, but you can add these down the line as well. We're going to go done, and we're basically making our ad group. You can see how our ad looks. We go next. You can see weekly conversions based on your budget. I'm just going to set as a custom budget. Obviously, it's dependent on your business. I start very low, okay, because Google can spend a lot of money. What will actually happen is if your keyword's getting a lot of search volume, it'll recommend you to increase budget. So start low, and then sort of go from there. It'll give you then a campaign is ready to publish. It'll probably come up maybe with some errors for me, and that's basically it. So it'll have a review step, and that's how you run Google Ads brand search. Very, very simple. That is the most important one. I should be clear here that you don't have to run Performance Max. We're going to go into how to add Performance Max as well. I don't know why it's taking so long, if I'm honest. But that's basically, this would be the main campaign you want to run. I'm going to cancel that, discard. Okay, so ignore that. Clear. As you can see, I've got the draft there. Okay, so I can go back to it clearly. I've got some errors for the sake of this tutorial. We're going to go new campaign. Again, we want to go sales. I'm going to remove this. I just remove any conversion actions that are not relevant. It doesn't remove it from your ad account, it just removes it from that campaign. Performance Max, about this campaign, the final URL we put is dogs.com. Google will try and crawl your website to try and find anything relevant. And again, what I do is I give it a name. So PMax. Brand name, dogs, campaign 1. All right, so this is where you can be very broad. You can make what's called asset groups, and you want to optimize it for acquiring new customers. Okay, this is generally where it's up to you, right? Only bid for new customers, bid higher for new customers. I follow that. Google does know its stuff. You want to optimize for conversions, not conversion value. You just want conversions in the beginning. You can change that down the line. Now, this is where you definitely want to target a specific country. I would recommend United States. Okay, and then always check the more settings. Again, in the beginning, you don't really need it. I wouldn't be too worried about these in the beginning. We want to go next. You can see how it's very, very straightforward. Again, let Google help you. It's sort of beta AI. I'm just going to leave this for the sake of this, where again, based on the URL and those services, it starts to show me, various pages, which is pretty cool, right? So we generate assets. Take a moment. because Google is incentivized that the more that they can do for you, that they know the more likely you're to run ads. So I call it ad, this is just me, ad group 1. Okay, and you can see how automatically, now go through these for your brand, you know it best. I'm just showing you placeholder text for the sake of this video. You can see how some things I definitely recommend, especially for this, is to add your brand into a few of them. So again, I would put dogs. Oops, you can't put all capitals either, and then like a dash, right? It builds the brand. People build that. It builds authority. You can see site links that recommends you to do that, and you can also see, pardon me, that your ad will display on YouTube, Gmail, search, display, and discover. And you can see mobile and desktop view as you sort of see fit. YouTube ads does really well, I should add. So very important. So you can add images. I'm just going to add some free stock images for the sake of this. Okay. I find for me, if I'm honest, Google has some caching issues. Add your logo, add a square and rectangle logo. A lot of the time that will import also from the Merchant Center. In the Merchant Center, you can add your logo and stuff too. Really, really important for your branding, especially long term. We're going to put, business name is dogs, videos. Yeah. This is where you can choose, existing videos. So if I choose a couple of them, for example, my ads will just show on YouTube when it runs YouTube ads. Site links is like what we said before. I do actually leave the call to action for PMAX. It's automated. It works really well, and you can add more promotional assets. Structured snippets does really well for e-commerce. Call out extensions does really well as well. If you are running promotions, that does well too, but in the beginning, most of you won't. So focus on call out and structured snippets. Okay. Follow the steps. Basically, a structured snippet allows you, I'm just going to add that as an example, to add more to the ad, okay, and basically shows benefits of your business, which is really, really important, and definitely something that I recommend you do. Okay, so you can also do phrases of people searching for products or services. So because this is cold, you would want to sort of add this, and you can add audience signals as well. Okay, so I personally do more audience signals. Okay, so audience signals is basically you are allowing different custom audiences because you have Google Analytics integrated, and you can add additional information as well in terms of interest. So in the beginning, when you don't have a lot of data, because this is in the dog space, there you go. I've got 3 in market. What's called in market audiences is the equivalent of Facebook's interest targeting. Basically predefined audiences based on millions of touch points to find users that fit that criteria. And because we've locked it down to United States, it'll focus on get these huge audiences and say only people in the United States. Okay. And I can save this as well. Okay. So for the sake of this, we don't need my data. Okay. If you want your data, that's where you're adding remarketing as well as cold. Okay, so I do a combo of both, and it works really well. What a lot of times I recommend to people is that what you do is you do one audience signal that is cold. Okay, so I'm going to call it cold in market audiences. Okay, and what you again want to do, browse. Pardon me, sorry, wrong one. And I save these because you're building up sort of a database, and you can do demographics. Again, based on your business, you'll know what to choose. Unknown is just, at times that's just the case. Always leave that ticked. Again, if you're running cold though, I recommend 25 to 44 for most of the time. Obviously it depends on the business, and you can have a look at additional demographics. This is the cool thing about Google. You can even look at household income, and you can save that audience as well. Okay, I recommend that you do that because then you can easily edit it and you can duplicate it down the line. Okay, we go next. We choose a budget. Again, based on your budget, I recommend no more than 20 a day to start off with. That's more than ample. It should come up with a review. It does this a lot. This is a security measure, so don't be stressed when you see that. It's just a standard security protocol measure. So obviously this is a really streamlined approach and very fast. I recommend spending a bit more time. Once you have it set up, then really all you need to do is add in new creatives, test new audience signals. Okay, and that's basically how you integrate Google with Shopify and run brand search and performance max campaigns to get you running there as well. If you want a video on the Google Merchant Center and how you can optimize within there, please let me know. Other than that, I hope this video has helped. If you did like today's video, please be sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below any questions. We'll get back to you with an answer accordingly. Thank you and goodbye.